Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to Indian Economy Sessions. Now this is Shiv Prasad Yadav SPY. Now this is a very introductory session to Indian economy. For example, we have number of competitive exams in India. From exam to exam, the requirements are changing, and actually they have to. For example, the requirement of UPSC Civil Services examination is completely different from other exams like Staff Selection Commission or State Public Service Commission exams. So, based on that, these sessions are designed in such a way that whatever the Indian economy sessions are there, they should be useful to each and every student, starting from Staff Selection Commission exam to number of exams are there. Like for example, you take AFCAT or CLAT, very minimum economy they last, and there to NDA, there also minimum amount of economy will be there. Then to State Public Service Commission exams like APPSC or UPPSC, and from there onwards to UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, nothing but civil services examination. So whatever the economy sessions I'll be taking, they are designed in such a way that they'll be useful for all exams. If we focus on these sessions, they'll be useful for all exams, and more precisely we are putting more pressure on UPSC Civil Services examination. So let us start the session without wasting any amount of time. So where we should start with respect to Indian economy, if we want to do something about Indian economy, where we are supposed to start? We have to start with the national income concept, or we have to start with taking concepts like gross domestic product or gross national product, or something like poverty or something like unemployment. Where we have to start exactly? Now we have designed a simplest way to Indian economy, because there is huge confusion about Indian economy classes, and there is no one single book and one single resource for Indian economy. That's why we simplified Indian economy like this. For example, if we want to do anything with respect to Indian economy, it has to be divided into. Now this is the simplest form. I'm not going to say that this is the way you all should follow and this is the way everyone should follow, or there are gaps in other models. It's not like that. We have designed the simplest way for Indian economy actually. So in this we'll be taking Indian economy into three parts actually. This is part 1, and this is part 2, and this is part 3. So this is part 1, this is part 2, and this is part 3. So in part 1 we'll be dealing with monetary policy, completely monetary policy. And in part 2 we'll be doing with fiscal policy. And in part 3 we'll be dealing with economic planning in India. Now with respect to any exam, you take any question, we can place it either in monetary policy or fiscal policy or economic planning. For example, if there is any question, is there related to agriculture, you can place it here, economic planning, because it comes in primary sector. And you can, if there is any question with respect to banking, you can place it in monetary policy. If there is any question related to money markets or bills of exchange or participatory notes, whatever it may be, you can place it in monetary policy. If there is anything related to tax structure of the economy, budgets, public finance, revenue, etc., etc., you can place all those things in fiscal policy concept. So whatever the economy we see, including socio-economic issues, because socio-economic issues are part of economic planning only. So whatever the thing we take, everything should comes under either monetary policy or fiscal policy or economic planning only. If you do in depth, if you do in depth of monetary policy, if you do in depth of fiscal policy, if you do in depth of economic planning, whatever the question they are asking in an exam, not only civil services point of view, any exam you take, you can place it any of the three. That's why we simplified Indian economy like this. So in our point of view, Indian economy means monetary policy, fiscal policy, and economic planning only. If you want to place poverty, poverty can be placed in monetary policy based on multiple indicators. Poverty can be placed in economic planning, and poverty can be placed in fiscal policy also while preparing the budget, while doing with the public finance equal to public revenue, public expenditure, public debt, so many things will be there. So there also we can place poverty. So whatever the topic we take, it has to be there in monetary policy or fiscal policy or economic planning. And you take any question from all previous examinations, if you take any question, it can be placed in any of the three. So that's why we simplified economy like this. So in our point of view, economy means, Indian economy means, it is monetary policy plus fiscal policy plus economic planning only. That's all. If you are very thorough with these three things, then everything is done. In my next session, you will understand how depth will go with each of them. For example, if we are taking monetary policy, how far we will go. If we are taking fiscal policy, how far we will go and how we are dividing it. And if you are taking economic planning, how we are dividing it. You are going to see it in all bonus sessions. Now this is bonus session 1. Bonus session number 1. Because we are not, I'm not going to name them as class 1 or class 2. Still so much time is there to name it as class 1 or class 2 of Indian economy. This is bonus session only because you are supposed to learn where we have to start and how we are supposed to start and what we have to learn. These three things are very important in particularly civil services point of view, because where we have to start, how much we have to read, because so much dump is there in if you go through Google or if you go through Telegram channels, if you go through YouTube or whatever the social network you want to take or whatever the online support you want to take, huge amount of material is there, huge amount of content is there. Actually, that is the reason behind the confusion in the minds of many students. As there is more content, more confusion. How much content is needed, up to what extent we are supposed to read, from where we have to read, what is the exact source, is that particular source is a correct source or not. There are so many confusions with respect to each and every subject, not only with Indian economy, the same confusion will be there with Indian polity. Whether we have to go through Lakshmikant or whether we have to go through NCERT, or first we have to go through NCERT foundation or NIOS notes, then Lakshmikant, or then DD versus. So much confusion is there and so many questions are there. We will sort out each and every question. Before that, this is the simplest approach for Indian economy. So in our context, Indian economy means monetary policy plus fiscal policy plus economic planning only, and how we are going to divide them into topics and subtopics, you will see in near future. So whatever the limitations of this session are there, this session is only limited to explaining this content. So Indian economy means monetary policy plus fiscal policy plus economic planning only. In my next session, I'll start with monetary policy because I gave number 1 to that. So monetary policy and how we can elaborate it in civil service examination point of view, you will see in my next session. And that's all for this session. Thank you.